everyone, and welcome back to It All Starts With a Wish podcast. My name is Rachel.
And I'm Mark. Man, I'm tired.
It's been a week.
It was a long weekend, and we realized that we had not recorded. A lot of times we'll pre-record things. That way, hey, you got them in the hopper for weekends like this. We didn't do that this week.
In the hopper?
Yeah, you've never heard that expression?
No.
Like the thing, it's in the hopper, so it's ready to go. So you just dispense it, and then it's ready.
Okay.
I can't believe you've never heard that expression before, in the hopper. It's like a farm expression.
Like a park hopper.
Oh,
but
sure.
My brain is always on Disney, so.
But it's been a long weekend. I want you all to know how much we care about you. That under 12 hours before this needs to be posted, we are sitting here exhausted. But darn it, we're not going to miss a week.
No, we're not.
Because that's how
dedicated
we are to this podcast.
Dedicated.
Dedicated, man. Dedicated. If I don't fall asleep in the middle of this, it'll be a miracle. But what are we talking about today? Let's go.
Well, it's tax day.
Let's go!
If
Love
you're
tax
listening
day.
to this, it is tax day. If you're listening to this on a Monday.
Best time of year. April 15th, man. Tax day.
It's also
Government
for
takes
this
all
year.
your money. Ridiculous.
For this year of 2024.
Death and taxes.
Stop.
Only two guaranteed things in life, death and taxes.
Okay. For this year of 2024, is that also the start of April vacation week for many public schools in the United States.
Well, in the Northeast.
Northeast, oh yeah,
Most
I guess.
parts of the country don't do
true.
April vacation. It's really more of a Northeast thing. People do spring break.
In March.
Like colleges.
But we don't do that around the parts we live in.
We're special.
We are special. So it's the start of April vacation. And it's going to be a busy week for everybody. A tiring week. But a lot of people are traveling.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, considering it's tax day, might be thinking about that tax refund that they're hopefully getting.
If you're lucky enough to get one.
You really cross your fingers.
We didn't get one this year. Because the state that we live in is horrific. And the federal government in the state that I work in was like, here's a refund. You're doing great. And then our state came right in and swooped it all up.
No,
Those
we need all that.
Buggers.
Well, anyway, hopefully you have a refund. And hopefully you can use that refund for, I don't know, maybe a Disney vacation?
Sure.
Put towards it?
Yeah.
That's what I would do if we had a tax return.
Rachel, feeling a little grumpy. Okay, I'm tired. A little pessimistic. I'm going to play the...
I feel like you always kind of are.
Thanks, honey.
You're welcome.
A lot of people may get a refund.
Yeah.
Okay? And listen, folks, we look at the demographics of this. We skew very female in our listeners.
Yeah.
Okay, about 75% of our listeners are female. Mm-hmm. We can see the demographics. We see you people.
All right.
We don't literally see you.
What's your point?
But 75% are female. 25% are male. Shout out to all those males out there. Thank you for listening. Keep doing what you're doing.
All right,
Great.
Get to the point.
My point is, Disney sometimes, for adults, can be seen as a female thing. Something that women want to do. And there may be some women out there who listen in the demographics that we skew towards, about 25 to 45 years of age.
Okay.
Most of our listeners fall within that age range.
Well, why are you calling them out?
Because they may have husbands, or they may have significant others who are of the male variety.
All right.
And those husbands may not want to go to Disney.
Yeah.
They may say things like...
I mean, if you hear people talking, it's usually like, oh, you're dragging your husband to Disney.
They may say things like, Disney's for kids. I don't want that kind of vacation.
Or it's expensive.
Or they may say...
For nothing.
The big thing
is
Disney's too expensive.
Yeah.
It's too much money.
Too much money. For what? For kids stuff?
For kids stuff. Nah. We could go other places and do other things for a lot less money. We could go on vacations other places for a lot less money. And I say nay.
I mean, you could.
I say nay.
I'm just saying. You
I
can
don't
go to
think
other places.
That my argument here, though, is that there may be a lot of people who want to spend their tax refund on a Disney vacation.
Yeah.
And need to convince their husband that that's the right thing to spend it on. That's a good investment of money. That you're getting a great bang for your buck. So this episode is for you, ladies. Maybe the few gentlemen out there.
There might be an opposite. There might be, you might have to convince your wife or your other significant other. Like if you're listening, whoever you are.
You might have to. And if you are, this episode's for you. We want you to take your significant other and sit them down in front of whatever listening device you're listening to this podcast on.
Just fast forward to this point, about 6 minutes in.
Yeah, they might enjoy the whole, like,
no, you need to be blindsided
in front of this.
Just like, bam.
Just bam?
Yeah.
Disney, well worth the money. We're going to tell you why.
Here we go.
Okay, so let's just look at the parks themselves.
Individually?
Sure. Well, not individually, but let's look at the price point.
Okay.
Of, let's say, just going to one park for one day.
So one park for one day.
Hit me.
Is $109.
It's quite a bit of money.
For one person.
Yep. Mm-hmm. What are you getting in a Disney park for $109?
You get the rides.
Okay.
You get the shows.
Okay.
You get the parades.
Okay.
You get the fireworks.
Okay.
You get the other entertainment.
Yeah.
You get the experience. You get the theming. You get the cast members. They're great.
World-class service.
That's, the cast members.
Really got to sell this, man.
I'm sorry.
So, yeah, listen.
I said cast members.
All of these things, correct.
Yeah.
Right? Disney rides, phenomenal. Rides intended for your whole family to enjoy. Most of them. Go back to our first episode if you want to hear more about this. Mm-hmm. That was Walt Disney's intention. To be a family park.
Right.
Everybody can go, enjoy themselves together as a family. You are going to create memories in your children that will last a lifetime that you may not create in other places.
And honestly,
because
even
it's
if
Mickey's
they're young,
house.
They're there. The memories are there. They may not remember like exact moments, but like you will, and the connection that you make in those family moments in Disney, those are what lasts. Mm-hmm. Like they might not remember the first time they met Mickey, but they remember that bonding that was happening.
Right.
Yeah.
But I could say, well, I could take my kids to a hockey game, their first hockey game ever, professional hockey game, and create memories that'll last a lifetime. But I'll ask you, how much does it cost to go and watch, let's say, my beloved Bruins at the TD Garden? You are probably dropping, on the low end, around $60 to $80 a ticket for nosebleed up in the stratosphere seats, as far up in the Boston Garden, the TD Bank North Garden, as you can go. Okay,
it's really $60 all the way up there.
Look it up. It's at least $60 now, if not more.
That's crazy.
Per person,
for
per ticket.
Game. For a hockey.
You're driving into Boston. The gas that you're going to spend the drive into Boston. You arrive in Boston. Anybody ever tried the park in Boston? You know how much that costs? It can cost you up to $40.
I was going to say, like
$40 for a freaking parking spot.
I was going to think 25, but that's $40.
Right there. We're not counting now all the souvenirs that you got to buy your kids. You're going to have to buy them everywhere, folks. You buy them in Disney, sure. But you know what? You take them to a Bruins game.
They're going to need the bear claw. They're going to need the little clappers.
They're going to want all that stuff.
The things you bang together.
$120 easy. Just on getting there and parking the darn car and the tickets to get into the building. Mm-hmm. Upwards of $100+ alone. About the same price as a Disney ticket.
Yeah.
Disney ticket, you're paying $109 for a whole day of experiences.
Yeah.
Including rides, world-class shows, and I do not say that lightly.
No,
this is not theme park
shows.
This is not normal theme park vaudeville guy pulling a rabbit out of his hat.
We just did an episode on this.
Yes, we did. Go back and listen to that episode too.
All of the shows.
Right, world-class shows that you can watch. Pyrotechnics. People go to the 4th of July and they're like, "Oh, this is great."
No, once you go to Disney fireworks. Once you see fireworks in Disney, every other fireworks show is.
It is nothing else. Choreographed to music, sound, lights, projections, fire. Like, come on, okay. You can go to the best zoo, arguably, in the whole country.
Zoo.
One of the only zoos that allows you to move through an open-air savanna that is on the size and the scale as the one in Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
And on top of all this, you get the world-class Disney service.
And experience.
An experience that you can only get in Walt Disney World parks from the top-notch cast members and other people who work there who are working to make sure that your every minute is as magical as possible. You want to go watch
sold.
You want to go watch a Broadway show at any major city or an off-Broadway show, whatever the hell they call it. You're going to drop at least that amount of money,
a couple hundred.
if not more, on that. You want to go watch that whatever she is, Taylor Swift. Okay, you want to go watch a T-Swift, all you Swifties out there?
Yeah, that was a lot of money for those tickets.
$109 for a Disney ticket. People were dropping thousands of dollars to go and watch one show that lasted a few hours, not a whole day of experiences. People were dropping on tickets to watch a single show, what it would cost for multiple days in Disney. And here's
a whole
the
vacation,
great
including
part.
your room.
Here's the great part about Disney. The more days that you spend there, the price of the tickets
goes down.
And
a lot of people don't know that. The last time we went with just my family, this was back a couple of years ago, we added on a day, or my parents added on a day when we were down there, and they went to the guest services. They were like, we want to add a day onto our trip, and whatever. And the cast member goes, that'll be $15. I don't remember the exact number of days. We were there for a pretty long time, so they were adding on one day. But my mom goes, 50? Like 50? And the cast member was like, no, 15. She was like, I'm sorry, what? But yes, it goes down the longer you stay. So it doesn't really make sense to go for just a day.
No.
When you think about it. Because the next day will be cheaper, then the next day will be cheaper. So the longer you stay, you get the benefits.
And even when you compare it to, let's say, like a Six Flags, we looked up the price of a one-day ticket to Six Flags New England, $55 per day. Okay.
Per person.
Per person.
Mm-hmm.
So even with a family of, let's say, 4, you're dropping at least $200. A little more than $200 for 4 people to go just for a single day.
But a lot of people would say,
Six
but
Flags.
I would be spending $400 for a day at Disney at one of their parks.
But again, you're not going to get the level of service. You're not getting the
rides.
cleanliness. You're not getting the same level of, sure, Six Flags does a tremendous job with thrill rides. If you're a thrill seeker, okay, maybe Six Flags is a place for you to go. Because Disney does not have that many thrill rides. But for all-around experiences, what you're getting at a Disney theme park is unmatched at any other theme park in the country.
I think other theme parks are what you think of it. They're like the generic theme parks. They're just pavement. They have some rides that pop up.
And some people may
there's
say,
some booths. There's like, that's enough. They might be like, that's enough for me. But like, it's literally its own world. It is Disney World. Mm-hmm. The Disney bubble. You step into it. Everything is themed. It's from as soon as you get under that sign until you leave, you feel like you are in just pure bliss, I think.
Sure. And even with a comparable theme park, I would argue, one of the only comparable theme parks to Disney, Universal Studios. Ugh. A one-day park ticket at Universal...
I like Universal Studios.
...is $10 more than a one-day single park ticket to a Walt Disney World theme park. $119 on average to a Universal one-day ticket versus
one park.
A Disney one-day ticket.
Say that too, because Universal is 2 parks.
Yeah, but Disney, you could get a park hopper. We're not talking about the park hopper. Is a little bit more expensive than $109.
So one park for $109.
Comparable is one park. $109 at Disney, $10 more expensive.
Well, I say that because I think a lot of people think that Universal is connected. You cannot go to both of those parks if you don't have a 2-park ticket.
Right. You need a 2-park ticket. You need a park hopper to go to all 4 Disney theme parks in one day.
Yep.
But comparable, one-day tickets, $10 more expensive at Universal than it is at Disney. And I would argue that that is the only theme park that's even close in comparison to Walt Disney World.
Yeah, I was surprised.
people will say, oh, I pay too much for food there. Now, there may have been a day and a time years ago when I might have been like, it is more expensive to eat in Disney. But I will tell you this, on their last Disney trip, I was amazed. Because for the first time, I was like, wow, this is actually what I would pay for things at home. That's when I realized kind of how bad things are with inflation in our country. Because I'm like, I am
You're
paying
like, wow, it
the
actually
same
is
thing
$4 for a bottle of water.
Like, it's amazing.
In our hometown.
$15 for a fast food cheeseburger. Like,
Oh, look at
that's
that.
kind of
It
correct.
is kind
like,
of
that's
right.
what it is.
Like,
so really, all things considered,
right.
it may be a little more expensive for food, but it's really not that much more than what you're going to pay for in a normal setting in your normal world. If you go to a Longhorn or any kind of chain restaurant, a Chili's or anything
Even
like
fast
that,
food. You're grabbing a quick bite.
what you pay there is going to be very comparable to what you're paying in a Walt Disney World theme park. At sit down and at counter service food.
Yeah.
It's really not that different. The prices are really, right now, quite similar. Maybe that is a sign of the times
good thing,
of
but
what's going on in our country right now. But anyways, that aside, right? So the food really is not that much more expensive.
No, and there
than what
are
you would
other
pay
ways
anywhere
if you
else.
are budgeting that you can do that. And we've talked about other like different little things to save. You can do garden grocer and bring some stuff to your room and pre-pack some lunches or do a dining plan and pay for it, within your package so you don't feel like you're, just bleeding money while you're down there on food. You already paid for it in your package with the dining plan, so that might feel a little better too.
Yeah, it might. But still,
you're kind of still paying for it either way.
go back to my analogy of going to a Bruins game.
Yeah, true.
Okay? You go to a Bruins game.
You're still getting a $4 bottle of water at a Bruins game.
Well, at least.
At least, if not more.
You're probably paying nowadays like
And don't
$12.
talk about adult beverages.
$12 for a beer. Are you kidding me? Like, you don't even pay that price in Walt Disney World for
crazy.
a beer.
I know.
Hot dogs out the roof. Cheeseburgers. The crappy chicken tenders that they sell you in
those
these
nachos
places.
with the plastic
The plastic
cheese.
nachos are like $12. It's ridiculous.
The plastic nachos.
It's ridiculous, the prices that they're charging. So if you go to any kind of event or anything, you go to a theater even, go to a movie theater and the prices that you're paying.
Jeez, 2 people for a movie is probably close to
that
like
you
$50.
do, that is, go to the zoo, okay? Anywhere that you go, you are going to pay comparable prices for food. So that excuse of Disney's food is too expensive, right now,
out the window,
null and void.
Yep.
Because it's really not true, because it's really not that much more
really not.
than you're going to pay for food at home.
Agreed.
You don't believe me? Go out to eat. And you tell me how much you spent going out to eat, and I'll send you a receipt from our last Disney trip at a comparable counter service
restaurant.
or at a table service restaurant. And I bet you it's a lot closer than you think after you throw in tips and all that stuff. So can't say that the food is that much more expensive than what you would pay anywhere else.
No, I agree. Especially now.
Hotel rooms.
I mean, I think this is a good thing to like bring up because a lot of people want to stay off property to try to save money. But even so, you're looking really even for a decent hotel room. You're looking at what, $200 a night?
Yeah, it depends on the place and the location.
Yeah,
but
I'm saying if you're going
now,
like outside of Walt Disney World
for a clean hotel room,
Yeah.
anywhere in this country, you're dropping at least $120 a night, if not more, when you add on taxes and other things.
Yeah.
You're probably talking north of $120 a night for anything that's above like a Motel 6 and you're not worried about getting shot or bed bugs or anything like getting like killed
really
by
sketchy.
getting killed by a serial killer or anything like that. If you want to be in a legit like Hampton Inn, Holiday Inn, like something that you feel comfortable staying in and not like worried that like you're going to get some kind of disease staying there, you're talking at least $120 a night, if not more. We just went for a wedding a few months ago and we dropped like $145 for one night on a hotel room.
Which is awfully comparable to one night at an All-Star.
That's exactly what a one night at an All-Star is.
So it's like, you're really not getting anything more by staying off Disney property, especially if you go back to Disney and you're staying off property to try to quote-unquote save money.
And then you're worried about
really not.
traffic and getting into parks.
And then you have to rent a car.
And...
Or you have to wait for a shuttle. And that's not very good, not very helpful. But comparably, the outside resorts are kind of the same price, and you don't get as many accommodations.
Right.
So,
You'd
stay on property. But the price, if you're looking at price, it's really the same. Again, I mean, yeah, you can get the nicer hotels that are more expensive. But if you're looking at just a...
But nicer hotels anywhere are more expensive.
No, yeah,
anyways.
like a Four Seasons or something. You know, like one of those hotels. But yeah, so hotels are pretty expensive no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
So, might as well get a hotel in Disney.
Hint,
That was me
hint.
throwing subtle hints in there.
That was not subtle at all. That
I
was
wasn't
real.
trying to actually be subtle, Mark. Alright, so we have food.
Mm-hmm.
We have hotels.
Mm-hmm. We have
We
theme
have the
park
tickets.
experiences, tickets, prices.
Alright, what about the actual rides? Because I've been to other theme parks. They're cool, I guess, if you're a thrill seeker. But the amount of technology and theming and Imagineering that goes into every ride in Walt Disney World, I think, is unmatched by any other park.
Mm-hmm.
And that alone, like, you know, you're going on a ride, like, I don't feel like I'm gonna die on it.
That's true. Yeah. You feel safe.
Some of those, like, bigger I've been on all of them. I'm a thrill seeker. But some of those roller coasters, it's just a roller coaster. You know?
It's just a roller coaster.
There's no story. There's no
theming. There's
yeah.
no, like... And even, like, a place like Universal has some rides with theming. And
I
some
can't say
rides that
anything.
go that
I
extra
like
mile.
Universal, and I really love some of the things they
The
do.
Hulk.
But
The Incredible Hulk ride. There's no theming there besides it's called The Incredible Hulk and it's green. It's just a normal steel roller coaster. Like,
well, yeah,
big
but I mean,
whoop.
like the queue kind of. But again, your queue line is just standing in line.
Your queue line.
Yeah.
You go on a roller coaster at Disney, like Rock and Roller Coaster, and you're immersed from beginning to end in that theme.
That's true.
You go on Guardians of the Galaxy, and you're immersed in that theme. It's not just a steel roller coaster that's painted a green color.
Or it's not just a line where you can
Hulk.
just see everybody lined up in front of you, and you're just like, all right, yeah, I'm standing in line.
Right. They are holistic experiences that you can have on all of these rides. And some of the technology in these rides is out of control. Okay, you can go on some of the older ones. And you know what? Pirates of the Caribbean, okay, whatever. Say what you want about it. It's older technology, but it's still pretty impressive. Then you can go on another ride, like Navi River Journey.
Okay, I was going to say, like,
And
Flight of Passage.
although it is incredible, it's just the water
Or,
ride.
have you seen
Hold on.
the new animatronics for Tiana's Bayou Adventure?
I'm going to
coming?
get
Oh, okay,
there.
sorry.
Jeepers.
Sorry, I got excited.
Okay, but I wanted to talk about the crazy lady in the tree.
Oh, the tree lady?
The tree lady.
What's her name?
The dancer, the shaman of songs, or whatever she's called. Navi River Journey. Anyways, before I was interrupted.
You should have seen his dance that he just did.
You should have. My hands were flailing above my head.
That was good.
Navi River Journey. It's a simple log ride, but amazingly immersive with all the bioluminescence and the glowing leaves and the animals that are running
And
around.
even the screens that look really, like, real. Like,
And then you
the
get
depth.
to the crazy lady in the tree, the shaman of songs, and she's singing bah-hoo, la-hoo, whatever she's doing. But it's an animatronic, and she looks like an actual, avatar alien person.
Yeah.
Like,
It's kinda
so
freaky.
realistic.
It's kind of freaky.
It's like, is she real? Or is she an animatronic?
No, she's real.
She looks real. I believe she's real. Like, she is legitimately real. Like, an avatar
lives
person that's
there.
come into our world. Flight of Passage, you're absolutely right.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I thought of.
Amazing ride. Incredible ride. That you feel like you're flying on the back of a
like, you
darn
can feel
banshee.
the thing breathing in between your
Okay,
legs.
now we can have a plug for Tiana's Bayou.
All right.
Tiana's
Have you
Bayou
seen-
Adventure.
If you
Can't get
have
it out.
any Disney people out there have seen, the new animatronics have come out, little snippets of them, and they are really, really cool.
They are.
Louis,
I can't wait to see Louis playing his trumpet.
is he an alligator or a crocodile?
It's crocodile, I think. I think
Crocodile?
Louis' snout is kind of pointy, I
Pointy,
think.
he's a crocodile.
I think he's a crocodile.
But crazy.
Maybe he's an alligator. I'm trying. No, I think his nose
No, I
is
feel
pointy.
like it does go a little
It's like
pointy.
a triangle. I think he's a crocodile.
I think it's a crocodile too. That doesn't really matter. But
When I'm human, like I'm gonna be, I'm gonna blow my horn. Anyways.
That was funny.
Louis
very
looks
good
incredible.
dancing.
The animatronics are going to be
And
unbelievable.
Tiana looks amazing.
She
like,
does.
it is going to be really, really cool. And just the fluidity that the movements that they have is so lifelike. Yet it still looks like the cartoon just made 3D. It's kind of mind-blowing.
It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be really, really, really
And that's
cool.
consistent throughout all of the rides. And yes, sure, some of the rides are not quite as immersive, a la Dumbo, but even something like Dumbo, even like you
the
think
play
you're flying.
place that they have. There's a
Sure,
whole
but the ride
circus.
itself,
Oh yeah,
you're going in a circle. But you know what? It does feel like
you're
you're
going
flying.
in a circle.
It does feel like you're flying on the back of Dumbo. Okay.
Well, because you are.
Yeah.
You literally are on him
Yeah. If Dumbo multiplied like
a few different times.
a few dozen times
Yeah.
on the two rides. Anyways, that aside, rides aside, all of this other stuff that you have to pay for aside,
Yeah,
there are free things that you can do in Disney.
there are.
Places like Disney Springs. Disney Springs is an experience. And you know what? Yeah, sure, you can eat there and spend money on food, and you can buy souvenirs there in all the shops, and you can spend money on that too. But you can literally just go there and walk around.
Yeah.
And take in the ambiance, take in the experience. It's a beautiful
They usually
spot.
always have live performers.
Yeah,
at
that
different
perform for
points that
free.
Perform for free. You can sit and have your drink and see a little show, listen to some music, and they're all very good. These aren't just your like random street performers that are coming in. You don't know if they're going to be good or not. Like, these are selected by Disney Springs, and they are amazingly talented. So you have a lot of options there and around the resorts that you can do for free.
Things in the hotels that you can do for free. That was going to be my next point.
Yeah.
Like, there are amazing offerings that they have, especially for families, for kids, things to do around the hotels. It's not counting the world-class pools and spas and other experiences that are in the hotels. And you know what? Frankly, just walking around parts of Walt Disney World, especially just resort hopping or just hanging out in some... There's some beautiful spots.
Yeah, there really are. That
And-
people would never really know unless they're walking around.
That doesn't cost you a single penny.
No.
So maybe you want to save some money. Maybe you don't want to spend so much money buying park tickets for every day. Maybe you want to spend the day.
There's also a free
Relaxing
experience,
days.
too, that, like, again, talking about the resorts at Wilderness Lodge. They have a whole campfire thing with Chip and Dale.
The campground.
The campground, sorry. But they have a whole
Fort
campfire
Wilderness.
thing there. Chip and Dale come, they do like a little show, the kids can take pictures, they roast marshmallows, like, again, no extra charge. You're not paying for a park ticket because it's at the resort. Or you don't really have to be at that resort, I guess, but I don't know how you get back to your other resort, but free. And you get to see Chip and Dale. Look at that.
Yep.
Crazy.
And folks, there's not many places where you can meet the one and only Mickey Mouse.
There's really
And for
not.
some kids, that's not replicable, that experience.
No, people try. But there is only one.
There is only one. And he can be found at any of the Disney locations located across the world.
Yes. But it's only at the Disney locations.
That's correct. That you get the real one.
The real Slim Shady. The real Mickey Mouse.
Okay.
That's what it reminded me of.
But yes, no, some of the character meet and greets that happen in
Yeah.
Walt Disney World parks.
And the impromptu ones. Like, not
Kids
even, like,
just-
they're just walking around. They're not, you don't have to stand in line to meet them. They're just walking around. Like, some of the coolest ones that I've heard of or seen have been literally the characters are just walking around the parks and they stop and they see someone with their shirt on that they're like a fan of and they interact with them. The princesses find that if you've been to Bippity Boppity Boutique, they talk to the little ones like, hello princess. Like, it just, when you see their reaction, like, that to me is like, that's worth all the money in the world that you spent.
And your
to get
kid
there.
has a hero, I'm sure. That is a Disney character.
There's a lot of them, so
And you can
Chances are.
most likely meet that Disney character that is your kid's hero in a Walt Disney World theme park.
yep.
or sometimes in the resorts.
Yeah, that's true.
So, you can't get that anywhere else, folks.
Ooh.
And that's well worth, trust me, after seeing our son with Moana, right?
Oh, we can't wait to get back.
That is not a replicable experience.
We're itching to get back.
And now he really likes Mickey Mouse, too, so I think he would appreciate seeing Mickey Mouse in Mickey's house.
Mickey's house.
Mickey's house. So, folks, are you convinced?
I
hope that
am.
you are. I hope that you are. You don't need convincing. You already are overly convinced and want to go every week, and we just can't do that.
I know.
But we hope that you can use this information to convince a member of your family who may be like, Disney's too expensive. That Disney, in fact, is not too expensive.
Did they say it
when
just
you
like
compare
that?
it to other things? I'm sure they do. Because anybody who would
That's what
say
they
that
sound like.
it sounds exactly
Yeah.
like that.
I agree.
But when you do get that tax refund that I hope that you're going to get, and you're ready to book a Disney trip, remember, Rachel can help you out. Send her an email at armello@mickeytravels.com. She'll
Yep.
get you hooked up with
I'll
that
get ya.
tax refund money.
Absolutely.
Well, folks, we've come to an end of another episode. We are both totally exhausted. I now need to edit this episode, so wish me luck. If there
Good
are
luck.
horrible inaccuracies or like you hear me coughing because I'm hacking up a lung because I still don't feel that great,
Apologies.
I am sincerely sorry, but it's also late at night and I'm not sure how well I'm going to be able to edit this. So,
I think
anyways.
you'll be okay.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. But we hope that you'll join us next week for another installment of It All Starts With a Wish podcast, where we will be talking about...
Who knows?
We'll find out.
Yeah, you'll find out.
You have to listen to the next episode to find
You gotta
out.
wait for it, though.
We know exactly what we're going to talk about, though. Anyways.
Sure.
Remember, folks, you can follow us on our social media accounts. Send us an email at startswithawish.podcast@gmail.com. And remember, folks, it all starts with a wish. We'll see you real soon.
Bye.